Good morning. It is 7:21. It is 9:13. I still have an ear infection, so if my voice sounds like I'm far away, it's because I can't hear my own voice. So I don't know how loud I am, but I'll try. So this is not a complaint. I know I complain a lot. That might sound like a complaint. It's more like an observation, because we know I am a huge fan of the OSR DIY movement. The very first OSR DIY game I became aware of was Lamentations of the Flame Princess, which I liked. It was interesting. I more liked the people that was involved with it than the actual game. Up to my most recent, Morkborg, which is so unbelievably twisted. Now here's something I've sort of noticed, and maybe I'm wrong because my sampling is small, but it does seem a huge percentage of the OSR DIY games are very dark, twisted, vaguely Lovecraftian, pulpy, no hope, or grim dark, or dungeon punk, or 5 torches deep, and any second you could die. And I don't understand why. I mean, Lamentations of the Flame Princess was a very strange, sort of twisted, kind of dark, kind of very uh, European, heavy metal, Lovecraftian. And Mark Borg, I mean, Jesus Christ, that thing's like a spiked fist punch to the face of, oh my God, there's absolutely no hope. And a lot of the other OSR DIY games are very much like, fuck you, in your face, punk rock, death metal, no hope, tentacles coming out of the wall. Your characters aren't heroes, they're just, rogues and ne'er-do-wells and treasure hunters trying to make the best that they can out of a no-win situation. And I don't understand why. I guess is my point. When did the collective unconscious decide that the OSR was going to be dark and twisted because, what, dark and twisted sells better? Dark and Twisted is more attractive. Dark and Twisted is more gonzo and reflects the games of the 70s and 80s better? Because, no, I'll admit it, my experience is limited. I've only, most of my gaming is Southern California, which is, generally a very sunny, bright, sort of cheery state. I mean, not really. It's not a cheery state, but it has the illusion of a cheery state. And there is a lot of sun and a lot of trees, and it is sometimes very beautiful. So that could explain why 99% of the OSR games I was in, first edition, second edition, third edition, were not grim, dark, Cthulhu, twisted, fuck you, no hope. They were mostly, can we emulate Saturday morning cartoons and Star Wars and anime? How over the top can we get? How silly gonzo can we get? How many windows can I jump out? How many chandeliers can I swing across? How many ridiculous, goofy, heroic things can I do? Now, I played with a lot of actors, very, very young. I played with a lot of great GMs. I had a lot of great experiences. So maybe I'm spoiled, and maybe the rest of the population of the gaming world outside my little California bubble was playing first edition, second edition, third edition, very dark, grim, gritty, no hope, pulp fiction, Cthulhu. I don't know. It seems my experience before college and the conventions I went to, mainly positive. Most of the games, were fairly typical. Go in the dungeon, kill the monsters, take their stuff. People were trying to, can I emulate Thundar? Can I emulate Star Wars? Can I emulate Brave Star? Can I emulate, He-Man? The games tended to generally be mostly exciting, fun-filled, kind of goofy, very heroic. College experience, and I went to college in Northern California, which was very foggy and very depressing. But again, most of the games I was in, with one exception, pretty much very light, very fun, very easygoing, very heroic. Everybody sort of wanted to be the good guys and wanted the world to be a better place. I mean, one game I played, it was very much an RPG soap opera where, it was always about who I was dating and who I could get the best Christmas present for. And it was always very fun, very light, very heroic, there was no tentacles, there was no grim, dark punch in the face. And post college, the years I spent gaming with TJ Storm and that group, again, especially because, TJ Storm is a very heroic, over-the-top, larger-than-life individual. And I played with a lot of people who were like that. A lot of actors, a lot of martial artists, a lot of stuntmen, a lot of people. And, again, I'm in Southern California, which is generally, sunny and nice and warm. So maybe that tilted the gaming experience I had. But, again, pretty much none of this Mork, Borg, Zweinhander, dark fantasy that seems to be a cornerstone of the OSR, of games like 10 Torches Deep and Blades in the Dark and whatever. So when I don't understand, and this is not a complaint. I love pretty much every OSR game I've run. Mork Borg, despite being, a punch to the face, is a good, it's actually really badly edited, but that's a different topic. It's a good game. Lamentations is a good game. 90% of the OSR games is a good game, and I absolutely love Powered by the Apocalypse, which is an evolution of the OSR. And again, that's a very dark, grim, gritty, post-apocalyptic. Everybody's going to die, but there's lots of sex role-playing system. I mean, in my childhood was in no way, shape, or form enjoyable. So it's not like, well, you had a really good childhood, so of course your gaming experiences were really good, and you don't understand how dark the 80s really were. No. My childhood was awful. The only good, bright thing in my life for most of my life was D&D and role-playing. That was this is great, this is fun, this is amazing, this is the person I want to be, this is the life I want to live. I don't want to be this little depressed, dyslexic, abused kid who thinks about killing himself all the time. I want to be this hero. I want to be funny and happy and get over these issues and use D&D to help me get over those issues. But again, maybe I was in a bubble, so maybe I don't know. Maybe I was just extremely lucky and the rest of the gaming world was playing first edition, second edition, third edition in such a way that it led them to create games like Lamentations and 10 Torches Deep and Blades in the Dark and Mork Borg and Zweinhander and whatever else. I don't know. For me, I do not understand why so many people think that the 70s and 80s and early 90s, the first edition, second edition, third edition experience was all Ravenloft and all dark Warhammer 40K end of the world, because most of my gaming experience was White Plume Mountain type games. Let's be heroes. Let's go in this ridiculously goofy dungeon that makes no fucking sense and kill this weird gnome wizard with a crown made of lobster heads who wants to turn everybody into jello monsters. That was my gaming experience in first edition, second edition, third edition, and fourth edition. And even in fifth. Even here now in Ventura, which is a suck-ass town. Full of depressed, angry people. Right in the middle of the beautiful Southern California coast. Just amazing views everywhere you go in this town. But everybody here is mechanical, sucks, meth is good, my life is horrible. Still, the games are pretty heroic, pretty over the top, pretty much, not Mork Borg. So I don't understand how this happened. Maybe somebody better than me, smarter than me, more intelligent, more ingrained in the OSR could explain it to me. Maybe there was just something I slept through. I mean, I can understand that for a lot of us, the world is a scary, dark, horrible place, and we want to reflect that in our role-playing games. But usually, you want your entertainment to not reflect the dark, horribleness of your life because it's an escape. And why would I want to live in 10 Torches Deep Zweinhander Morkborg, and then roleplay 10 Torches Deep Zweinhander Morkborg. I want to roleplay to escape my Cthulhu Lovecraft end of the world no hope scenario and be fucking Prince Adam or Superman or Luke Skywalker or Batman, you know, or Bilbo. But I don't know. I don't understand. And after reading Morkborg and seeing that this is the nomination for Best Game of the Year, it's like, when did this happen? And why did it happen? And again, not a complaint, just a thought experiment. I'm trying to rationalize and keep, you know... They're all very well-written games. I mean, there's no question, and they all present very well-written, interesting worlds, but why so dark? I'll talk to you losers later.